Hey everybody, Don and Nancy Carson here.
We're here in Canada sharing with you the most amazing opportunity about to hit the market coming up here later this spring. You know, this company is being launched out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota with an incredible visionary, a fellow by the name of Dave Jordan, who's been a collector most of his life. In fact, he actually tried to do what we're doing here now back in 98 with an idea. But, you know, at that time, the timing was a little off. And so timing is everything. And today we're going to share with you the most amazing timing for all of you. Nancy, take it from here.
Collect Direct is the brand new company. It's bringing the past to the future. It's not like anything else that you've seen. It's a category creator. And Dave has been just so stoked about getting everything perfect for you guys to get this started out of the gate. And it's going to change the entire networking industry.
So, you know, if you think about direct selling and the networking industry, often people say, I don't want to sell anything. But what's really fascinating about this company, because it's built on collectibles, and the collectible space is so huge, it's really the first direct sharing company, because our website's going to have hundreds of thousands of products on it that are there for you to share. It's not really a direct selling company, to be honest with you. All of these categories are going to be at your disposal. We want to touch on a couple that really bring our past to our future, wouldn't we, Nancy?
Well, it's so fun because, I mean, we've covered absolutely everything on here. But one that really struck home for me was when I saw Dave's collection of Cabbage Patch Kids, which you can see up there. I had such a great story growing up. When I was a little girl, I grew up in Flin Flon, Manitoba, a small little town. It's a one-horse town that had like one major shopping store. And they had the toy section that they were delivering Cabbage Patch Kids to.
And they were like everywhere in the world selling out, weren't they?
They were unheard of. There was no way that they were being delivered to Flin Flon, Manitoba, my mom said. So I ran downstairs and I'm whispering in her ear because I don't want anyone else to realize that they're unloading some Cabbage Patch Kids upstairs. And we went up there and she bought one Cabbage Patch Kid with our grocery money.
Yeah, and that was after your dad had passed away, wasn't it?
Well, and it was such a trying time in our family. And so to get that one Cabbage Patch Kid in our household at Christmas that my sister and I were able to share, it was hers, but I shared it with her.
Well, you remember your mother, told you, honey, we can't afford two of them, but your sister could use this more, because she was challenged at the time with a hearing loss and so on. So, I mean, ultimately, you basically were the big sister, weren't you?
It was so touching. And on Christmas morning, when she opened that up, and the joy that she had when she opened that up was just unbelievable. And I think that's the joy that everybody plugs into when they
start
look
finding
at these, when they find these things.
Like here's their hockey card. I mean, I bought this when our son was 7. He's now 24. It's Alexander Ovechkin. And at the time, it wasn't for what it could be worth. It was because he was playing hockey and I was traveling all over the place at the time. And I thought, man, just something for my kid in hockey. I was missing so many of his games. And, you know, we did this so many years later. It was really hard for us to be close. But recently I discovered this card is worth about $3,800. I saw this exact card in the same card shop that I bought it from back in that year. And, you know, I couldn't believe it that it was worth over $3,000 in that store, and it's basically the same quality. Now, why do I share that with you? Because my son and I now have connected, and we see this opportunity a little different than anything else I've approached in the past, because there's something there bringing us together. It's that past bringing to the future. Now, if you look at this slide, there's so many things here: NASCAR, hockey cards, obviously Pokemon, figurines, comic books. Dave says he's got 2 million plus and getting more every week. He's got 40s and 50 and 60 packages of gum with superheroes in them that were never opened, and Matchbox toys and Hot Wheels and Barbie dolls and, of course, Cabbage Patches and Beanie Babies. All of this is going to be available to all of you on our website as we move forward. Ultimately, we're going to share with you our thoughts around what a home-based business can do for all of you.
Well, so many people say that they don't have time or they don't have enough money. And that's exactly when you should be fitting this in your life. When we were brought an opportunity years ago, everybody would have said to us, I never would have thought you guys were interested. You're so busy with your traditional businesses. But people that make money and are traditional business people can see an opportunity, and they have no problem making time to make money.
It's true. And what's really fascinating is at the time we got started, we just in a boating accident in 2014, and both of us went through the windshield. It was scary. We didn't know what we would have done when we came home that night, if we wouldn't have come home, what would our young kids have done to carry on with the lifestyle we were creating for them? So let's kind of touch on where this looks and lines up with all of you. Can you imagine if you could have a warehouse full of millions of products at your disposal that you could be shown a way to point, click, and share those items around the world? And if somebody bought one of those, you got paid. Can you also imagine if you just chose to build a team of people to do the same thing in around the world or in the city you're in? And imagine those commissions and those rewards rolling up to you and forming cash flow. Ultimately, the millionaire mindset is actually that cash flow. And if you can get your head around this, just helping somebody make $200, $300, $400, $500 could change their lives. You know, I'm going to go into this a little bit, but, you know, honey, we were in the warehouses and we saw so much of what Dave has at his disposal here in the warehouse with products. You know, do you remember how many products you saw there?
It was unimaginable. I couldn't even wrap my head around it. And I only went to the one warehouse. You went to.
There's 3.
Yeah. And then all of the
containers. So why do we share that with you? Because it's endless where this can go for an opportunity for you. See, you're not filling a garage with things. Dave has 40 years of collecting for your disposal. We're talking vintage toys, vintage everything. In fact, he's got, you know, some products that are worth ridiculous amounts of money that, you know, you'll have to imagine purchasing one of those would be like for the multi-zillionaires. But ladies and gentlemen, if you found somebody that bought them, you could get a retail sales reward for just sharing one of his high level products. But generally, if you look at the masses of our product base from $29 up to $100, $200, $500, those can pay you from $5 to $200 just for that transaction. And then if you built a team, which is what we can teach you over the next months that you're seeing these different Zooms, you know, 2 teams building a volume. Every transaction creates some form of residual. And what does residual mean? Well, it's kind of like if you wrote a good story or sang a song like Elvis or whatever, royalties keep coming and coming. So when you look at a website that generates retail traffic and you don't have to actually get on that website and pick it and sell it yourself, the website does the work. That's the ultimate residual reward. Our company will give you 6 ways to get started, to be honest with you. And if you really get your head around it, the way we're going to get paid is building teams, getting paid rewards on each transaction, and actually getting paid what we call unilevel rewards, 7 levels above you. I'm not going to go into detail there, but I just want to give you just a simple overview to say, hey, for $29.98, I just about think anybody can get started.
Well, and I love that this is an equal playing field for young people, for starting people, for people that just want to dabble their toes, to the people that are collectors that really want to light this up, that want to start like a rocket ship. There's a get in where you fit in for everybody here.
And you know what? It's like creating a time capsule for the future. Can you imagine? I never realized that the card would be worth what it is today, but I don't ever imagine that I would have collected, I wouldn't have thrown away all the things that I threw away as a kid, just like many of you, if I would have known what they might have done. Collectibles are fascinating. Just go on Google and type in Forbes magazine and the word collectible and do your own research on what's happening to this industry. It's fascinating. Now, when you really get your head around how simple this is going to be, we're going to give you a QR code. You're going to have a link to our website. And all you're going to do is point, click, and share your phones and your links. And before you know it, you'll earn retail rewards. That's it. That's as simple as it is. And if that doesn't get you excited, well, then I'm not sure what we could say tonight in this short Zoom too. But tune in as we go further along and get closer to the launch date. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be one of the most fascinating home-based businesses to hit the market anytime in the last 10, 20, 30 years. Get back to the person that sent you this link. Maybe they'll be able to share with you a little bit more of the newest updates, but get ready for an exciting time ahead. We love sharing our thoughts around this. Thanks for joining us.